Mom and Dad 2017. We assume that parents will always support their offspring, but what if that support turned into hostility? Have you ever considered the possibility that a parent might intentionally harm or kill their own child? What could possibly cause a person to murder their own child, the person they love the most in the world? In today's movie recap, we bring you the mind-blowing film, Mom and Dad. Parents naturally want to keep their children safe, but in Brian Taylor's Mom and Dad, that instinct is flipped and parents now want to kill their kids. What precipitated this unexpectedly violent shift exactly? Do you guys know? Have you ever gotten around to watching this one? Hey, we'll provide you a thorough summary in case you missed anything. Now then, let's not dally around and get to work. The film begins with the mother playing music for her child while driving her car onto railroad tracks and abandoning the child in the car to die. The Ryans are a four-person family with a strained relationship. Brent, the father, disapproves of his daughter Carly's new boyfriend Damon. Carly considers her mother Kendall out of touch, fights with her younger brother Josh, who frequently teases and causes trouble, and is currently upset about having to cancel plans with her boyfriend because her grandparents are visiting. While Carly's at school, radios and televisions begin transmitting unexplained static. All the parents have arrived to pick up their children. It keeps happening, and the teacher has no idea what's going on. The police are stationed outside. Carly and her friend notice a group of students and proceed to the location where their parents have arrived to pick them up. There are some barrier fences there, and parents waiting for their children at the same school are separated by walls. The police do not allow them to pass through the barrier. Carly witnesses one of her classmates being stabbed by his mother with her car keys after scaling a fence to reach her. Carly flees with Riley, whose mother strangles her when the two girls arrive at Riley's house. Carly flees home in terror, where she encounters Damon, whose father attempted to kill him with a broken bottle, but accidentally cut his own throat. On the other hand, Kendall goes to the hospital where her sister Jeannie is giving birth, but the static transmits shortly afterward, prompting Jeannie to attempt to kill her newborn daughter while Kendall tries to save her. And Carly flees from Riley's house terrified, and on the way, she witnesses a number of strange events, including the murder of a son by his father. She then met Damon, and they both went to Carly's house to save Josh. Josh's life is in jeopardy as her parents adore him. Brent, on the other hand, is in the office, looking exhausted, and everything in front of him becomes blurry. This implies that the static compulsion has started on him. Kendall flees the hospital after hearing about the mass hysteria on television. The static compels parents to slaughter and harm their children. Kendall returns home in order to protect her own children. Kendall was worried because she wanted to get home as soon as possible so that her husband could not kill her son because he was attached to his son. Carly and Damon had already arrived at the house when they returned home. They noticed the housekeeper mopping. Carly notices blood on the mop and realizes that her maid also murdered her own daughter as she's not in the house. She becomes terrified and requests that the maid leave the house immediately. She goes upstairs in search of her brother. She notices him, terrified, hiding under the bed. Carly asks if he is safe, and he replies that he is. But then Brent arrives, and they're not sure how to leave the house. Damon decides to distract by visiting her father. Josh is terrified and seeks assistance from his father. He's completely unaware of what's going on. Brent approaches him with the intention of murdering him, but Damon intervenes. Brent pushed Damon and began pursuing his children, but Carly and Josh hid in the basement. Kendall was concerned and hurriedly drove the car back home. She notices a mother throwing her son in front of her car, causing him to be killed, but Kendall saves him. She notices her husband fainting and notices some changes in herself. She joins her husband as she has been exposed to the static. When her husband awakens, they intend to bring their children out of the basement and kill them later. "Come out, I am fine and unaffected by the medicine because I haven't been honest with you since childhood. I won't harm you," Carly's mother says politely. "Come out," she says again to Carly, but Carly refused. When Brent hears this, he starts yelling and disparaging his children. They then start breaking down the door with a drill machine while holding a knife. The door, on the other hand, was extremely strong and could not be broken. Brent intends to murder them with the gun he had hidden. Fortunately, his son has already obtained the weapon. He decides to release a dangerous gas into the room to get them out. They inject poisonous gas into the room, preventing their children from breathing and causing them to die as the result of the poisonous gas. After a while, the gas begins to have an effect. Carly was terrified, but she was doing it for her brother, whose face had turned yellow. Carly was troubled as she took a breath. Fortunately, she discovered a ventilator, though, which they can not only release the gas, but also exit the building. Carly decides to murder their parents before they leave so that they will not be afraid later. She decides to attach it to the door with a matchstick. Her parents will enter as they exit the ventilation system. A matchstick would be burned as a result of the friction. As a result of the fire, the entire room will catch fire. As a result, her parents will both die. They exit the ventilation system while coughing, so that their parents will hear them and come see them. Their parents arrive and everything goes as planned. Because of the gas, the matchstick causes friction with the door and the room bursts. And as a result, there's a massive explosion and Brent's thrown away. Kendall's also passed out and Carly carried her brother to the roof. When she hears a boom, she believes her parents have passed out and it's safe to go downstairs. Kendall, on the other hand, comes to her as she descends the stairs. She starts following her. Carly hides in a room when her mother appears and she bites her. Damon, who had fainted, awakens later. Carly conceals her mother in the closet with the assistance of a friend. Because she's been silent for a long time, they believe she's passed out and will die soon. They don't notice she's acting until she attacks them with a broken hanger. This shattered hanger lands on the face, and as a result of this, his face is damaged and bleeds profusely. During this time, Carly and her brother attempt to flee. They were surrounded by their parents, however, because Brent had also gained his senses. But before they can kill them, the doorbell rings. It was discovered that Carly's grandparents had arrived. They opened the door, and they were his parents who adored him. Carly's grandmother sprays her grandchild. In contrast, Carly's grandfather strikes him with a knife. Brent was also looking for his son. Everyone was chasing after each other, and Josh, who becomes terrified, hides in his father's car. Carly ran outside because her mother was choking her. Her grandfather, on the other hand, steps in to save her. Brent is sitting in his car, which collides with both his mother and father. As a result of this, Carly's grandfather dies. Carly's parents plan to murder their children yet again. Damon reappears and saves them yet again. As a result of his attack, Kendall passes out. While Kendall and Brent finally come to their senses, they find that they have been held captive in the basement by Carly, Josh, and Damon. They're still displaying symptoms of the hysteria, and the children are adamant that they cannot be released. The children are comforted when Kendall tells them she loves them through her tears, and Brent continues, "But sometimes we just want to." The movie comes to an end before he has a chance to finish his sentence. And that's going to do it for today's video. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. Does this movie sound like something you would like? It's called Mom and Dad from 2017, and it's definitely an interesting film. Something that's a little bit different than the last movie you saw, I bet. If you haven't seen this one, we recommend it. We gave you an idea what it's all about, so go out and check it out. And if you have seen it, let us know in the comments section below what you thought about it. Do you think we did it justice with our review? Hey, also make sure you please like and share our video with all your friends and family and fellow film fans in your inner circle. We sincerely appreciate you spending time out of your busy day to hang out with us, and we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you'll always be notified of our latest updates. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll hang out with you again soon. Thanks for watching.